what's up, y'all? What's up? It's me, the one and only Dark Lord 100, back with you again, this time with the lovely Miss O'Malley, and we are going to talk some sports. There's a lot going on in the sports world today. This week, I should say, since the last time we were on air. I told Suave, I told O'Malley earlier, I told Suave it sucks that he's not here. Wouldn't even mind having Doobie here for this conversation because we got some fun ones coming up. All right. So first of all, we're going to kick off with NFL Week 15 action. Saw a lot of different games that matter to the playoff race and to everything that's going to be moving on. I think we only have 3 weeks of the NFL left. Myles Garrett is now within 1 sack of tying and 2 sacks of breaking the NFL single season record. Is 21 and a half, I believe, at the end of this game. So 22 and a half is the record. TJ Watt holds it, tied with Michael Strahan. So Garrett could have a chance to surpass him and reset that record just a few years later. All right. So that was some of the stuff. But the key game, the first key game I want to focus on is this one. The Chargers, John Harbaugh led Los Angeles Chargers, have ended it. Well, no, they haven't ended it. But they put a pause on the dynasty for this year. There will definitely 100% be a new AFC representative in the Super Bowl because the Kansas City Chiefs have been eliminated from the playoffs with this loss. I believe they dropped to 6 and 7, and they basically all of the contention for a playoff spot and potential run. So, O'Malley, outside of woohoo, give us your thoughts on the Chiefs being eliminated today, and then we'll get to the secondary story out of this.
I mean, yeah, outside of woohoo, like, I don't think that this is one that anyone had on their bingo card this year. Like, I mean, at least not going out like this. I don't think this would have been a prediction. I mean, is it we talked a little bit about this last week. Is this like the end of the era? Like, who's got so much left in them? What do they start rebuilding around? Like, it should be interesting. And I mean, they could turn around, come back next year and shut everybody else up. I mean, that's just football at this point. But for right now, bye.
Well, mathematically, they've been eliminated. A lot would have to happen in order to be able to squeeze their way back into that playoff race. But it's just, and I'll say it like this. The second part of the story is the reason why I say it's done for this year. Patrick Mahomes fell on the ground, grabbing his leg late fourth quarter in the game, trying to bring the Chiefs back to keep their playoff hopes alive. And it has already been confirmed that, yes, Patrick Mahomes has torn his Achilles and is done for the year, which means he probably won't even be able to come back. Because I want to say an Achilles, especially in football, is at least 9 months.
Yeah.
If not a year.
Like he may be like out all next season.
Yeah. We're looking at a Gardner Minshew-led Kansas City Chiefs for the rest of the season and potentially all of next season.
That's crazy.
Most of next season. Yeah. Like, do I feel sympathy for him?
No.
Nah. No offense to the Chiefs. Like, I wish Patrick a speedy recovery.
And to clarify, just because we don't feel bad doesn't mean we wish this on someone.
Right.
Those are two separate things. Not wishing this on anyone, but I don't feel bad either. So,
yeah. Like, it's people never feel bad. Like, I'll say it like this: the year the Niners had to go to QB4 in the NFC Championship game, nobody felt sympathy for us. Like,
that was just comedy at that point. I mean, honestly, like, freaking, who are you gonna put in next? The Water Boy?
I thought Kyle was gonna suit up. It was gonna be that scene from The Longest Yard. When what's his name suits up and goes out there for the one play. I was like, I can guide us to a win or two. Just one more win. But yeah.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
feel bad for the Chiefs. You had your run, 5 consecutive Super Bowls, won 3 of them. But again, I go back to what I've said about this every time that we've come across this. I said it last week when we were talking about is the dynasty over. The beginning of the downfall was last year's Super Bowl. And then people are like, no, they just lost the Super Bowl. No, it wasn't the fact that they lost the Super Bowl. It was how they lost the Super Bowl. Philly beat them at every single level. Philly owned them at every single level. It never seen, even the year when Tom Brady won it. Like the Chiefs had a little bit of oomph to them. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't.
They didn't just lose, they got beat. And there is a difference.
And so I look at it and I say to myself, is it over for good? I doubt it. The Chiefs are still young enough. I think Kelsey's probably retiring after this year, but the Chiefs are still young enough in general that I believe they can make at least another run, maybe 2 to the Super Bowl, maybe win another 1. But that dominance of the Chiefs being the team to beat in the AFC every year, the team to beat in the AFC West, I think those days are over. Those dominant days are over. Regardless of what happens with Andy Reid, even with Patrick Mahomes, I just don't think that they're that team. So you had your run. It was like 5-6 years. It was great.
I mean, it was great while it lasted. It's time for a regime change.
Yeah, and it looks like we're seeing one, but not to a team that most people would want to do that. As that brings us right into our next one. And even though they are still I want to say they're still tied for the number 1 seed with the Broncos, the Patriots lost for the first time since September to the Buffalo Bills in what was a crazy game because New England started out the game up 21-0. And then proceeded to get outscored 35-10 the rest of the way. It was an interesting game to watch, but I think it showed exactly the parity that's going on in the AFC right now. Not to mention the fact that both these teams are better than Kansas City right now. So, what are your thoughts on Buffalo staying alive in the race for the AFC East after they've won 5 consecutive East since the Patriots fell off?
Well, I mean, I think that today's game between those two teams shows the difference in just experience and maturity level, really. You know, New England has a young quarterback, a young team, so I'm not really surprised what happened today. I mean, also too, it's New England, so I just can't get on. I can't jump on that train no matter how much. But you know, this is the changing of the. I would like to see a team like Buffalo do something this year, or a team like Baltimore, or I can't see. This is where it's tricky. I'm not going to say, I will never say, or a team like Denver, or a team like sorry, it's just not gonna happen. I don't care. I don't care how much I hate the Raiders right now. That is still ingrained in me. I will never, nope, not gonna happen. So that's where I'm at with, okay, maybe the Bills or Baltimore or some shit. I don't know. But
you said some shit. Somebody. But I'll say it like this. New England looks good. You're 100% right. The one thing that New England has going for it is that they're extremely young. You know,
same thing they have going against them in a lot of ways.
Well, I think this year, living up to the expectations of what their record is this year is going to be extremely hard because of how young they are. But I think their youth is what's going to mean that we could see another 2 or 3 seasons like this out of New England out of the next 5, you know, and it wouldn't be surprising. But in general, yeah, I agree with you. I think this showed what happens with youth versus experience. I think Buffalo is an older team. They have a team that has played in those types of games against teams like New England and Kansas City in the recent past. And I think that Buffalo is one team that I think could make a run, not necessarily out of nowhere, but just could make a run. They have all the pieces there. It's kind of why I'm not glad, but I'm sad Joey Bosa went there. But he wouldn't be playing with his brother right now anyway, even if he was in San Francisco, because Nick's hurt for the season. So if you can go get you a Super Bowl, go get you a Super Bowl. All right, so the next game had huge implications in the NFC as the Rams are trying to find their way into, or not Rams, but the Lions are trying to find their way into playoff contention, and the Rams are trying to stay on top of the NFC, which is basically what they did today with a 41-34 game. They were down 24-17 at the half and managed to outscore the Lions, a really high, potent Lions offense, managed to outscore them, 24-7 in the second half. So it's late in the season now. It's not too early. So where do you see Matt Stafford as a potential MVP candidate right now with the way these Rams are playing?
I mean, I think that there's still several more games left to determine that. But I mean, I guess he could be brought into the conversation, at least depending on where the Rams end their season, maybe. I don't know.
I think that also depends on if it's because of him that they don't end up where they're. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. No, absolutely. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I don't know if there is a clear outlined like player this season who is like any more deserving than there has been in past years where it's been very clear who the MVP should be. This season it doesn't really feel like there is a clear answer on to who it should be right now.
Now, I don't think it's going to happen, but you know who I really genuinely think I would love to see win the MVP? Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett. If he sets the all-time sack record on a team that bad, he was literally the only bright spot on that team's defense.
Yeah.
And he sets that record. I believe he deserves it. I know it's a quarterback's trophy. I know we really don't see many defensive players even in the top 5 rankings.
And we especially don't see it on a team where their team isn't actually shit, right? But I mean, you have a valid I don't disagree with you. That's a valid reasoning.
Argument.
Argument, reasoning.
Yeah, he and so I would say that would be a good choice. But if not, then Drake May, he's had an amazing season. Matt Stafford, I think it's kind of like the LeBron effect is what I call it. When somebody looks at somebody's age and says, wow, they shouldn't be able to do that. And it's like, in today's society, why not? Why shouldn't it do Matthew Stafford?
If there's the misnomer after it, right? Wow, he's doing an amazing job for his age. Like, no, it needs to be an amazing job end statement.
And I know people hate to hear this. Some people hate to hear this, but like with Tom Brady, when he was over 40 and throwing for 4,500, 5,000 yards with the Buccaneers, it's like, he didn't have a great season for his age. Like, he had a great season for a quarterback, period.
Yeah.
And
stupid.
And that's,
And especially in that instance where it literally isn't just for his age because it's doing better than most, right? Like, you're very much minimizing the accomplishment. And that's pretty, God, am I defending Tom Brady? Fuck. because that's fucked up. You know, it
is. Here's something I said to somebody when they talked to me about when they talked to me about the LeBron situation. I go, I would be uber impressed with what LeBron is doing if I had never went down to a local basketball court and seen some 45-year-old dude school a local high school All-American. Like, just school him on both ends of the basketball court all day, all game. If I had never seen that before in my life, then I would be like, wow, what LeBron's doing, like, wow. No human 40-year-old have I ever seen do that. But I'm not saying they played against NBA level talent. I'm just saying LeBron, again, I think I made this point last week, the way he takes care of his body, the money he spent on his body, I believe he's doing HGH. But I have no proof of it, so I can't say it's anything other than an allegation. But the man should be doing what he's doing. Not to mention how many games he's missed, an average of like 20 games a season for like the past 4 or 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, he should be able to do what he's doing. His body doesn't have the wear and tear that somebody who played all 82 games for 15, 16, 17 seasons has. And so congrats on these guys doing this, but Matthew Stafford, quit with the, like you said, quit with the misnomer, or quit with adding on the extra for his age. He's just having a hell of a season for a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he falls apart at some point, so that way my Niners can catch up. But
wow.
I doubt that's happening. All right, but all right. So then this was the other game that was just wow. And that was the Packers took on the Broncos in Denver and lost 34-26, allowing the Bears to further extend their lead in the NFC South and allowing Denver to clinch their playoff spot and increase their lead on teams like Kansas City and San Diego in the AFC West. So Denver, it's looking like our AFC Championship game may end up being Denver versus New England at this point, because those are the two best teams that are playing right now as far as the AFC goes. The Bills, yes, there's always a shot for the Bills. The Steelers, let them win the division first. Baltimore, if they get rolling, yeah, I could see them going on a run. This could be a year where it's wide open in the AFC. But right now, if the playoffs started today, I would say definitely New England and Denver are the favorites.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on the Packers losing this matchup to Denver and what it means for because they're 9-4-1 now?
Well, I mean, it surely doesn't help them at all. And with Denver, I guess this is a bit of a surprise. At least I think a lot of people didn't see this coming in this season, at least maybe this early, right? With still young players, stuff like that. And
I want to say, and this is only Sean Payton's second year, right? Because he had Russell Wilson in his first year. And now he has both.
Third year.
Third year? Okay.
I think it's his third year. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Again, I mean, one would like to or want to be like, hey, Denver hasn't been in it in a while. Congratulations for them. No. Not going to happen.
No.
So Green Bay, I'm very disappointed in you today. And I don't know what it means for Green Bay. It doesn't help them any, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like, it's funny because 2 weeks ago, they were the number 2 seed. Now they're the number 7 seed. Just like that. They look up and now they're the 7 seed and could be precipitously falling out of the playoffs. But I hope Green Bay gets in because I think it'll be more interesting with Green Bay. But just like with the Carolina Panthers, oh my God, they lost a hard one today to the Saints. They should have been able to take over the division by 1 game, but instead now they're tied with Tampa Bay again, with Tampa Bay having the tiebreaker. So, and most likely ain't gonna make the playoffs. Too many other good teams out there. Like I said, the NFC West is going to be putting at least 2 teams in the playoffs, no matter what. So, There's only one spot left that everybody else is playing for. So speaking of the NFC West, we have, of course, our obligatory, because I'm a 49ers fan, review of the 49ers game. Today against pretty much the last team that's a non-potential playoff team for the rest of the season. They closed the season with the Colts, the Seahawks, or the Colts, the Bears, and the Seahawks. So they're 10-4. They keep pace with the Rams and Seattle for right now, being only a game behind them. With Seattle and the Rams playing each other this upcoming Thursday. So that's even going to get more interesting. They seem to be on a run with Brock Purdy back. They're now 5-1 with him as the starter. 5-3 with Mac Jones. This team, like I said, I don't expect them to do much in the playoffs, but you never know. Any given Sunday, the youngsters step up, and we'll see what's happening. What are your thoughts on this 10-4 49ers squad?
I mean, stranger things have happened. This is the time of year where, we really see what teams are made of, especially this season, because there isn't a whole lot of clear leaders again. Right. There's a lot of fuzzy, undetermined, weird shit going on right now. So, I mean, who knows what happens, especially if they continue to play well. So, I mean, stranger things have happened, and then it's just getting into the playoffs at this point. The playoffs are a whole other thing, and we see teams become very different playoff teams than getting there. So it will just be interesting to see who ends up there in the first place.
One other thing I'll hit you with, this story out of San Francisco this week, was that Brandon Ayuk was basically placed on physically unable to perform or something. Basically, he's not going to play for the 49ers this season. He's been put on a new list thing that they do with the NFL.
The pup list.
Yeah. It's going to suck, because I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to suck if they trade him. Unless they get something decent for him, it's going to suck, because why the hell did you sign him to that contract in the first place? Why the hell did you sign him to the long-term contract? Brandon Ayuk, why did you sign the long-term contract? He's just going to fuck around like this.
Yeah, I mean, this falls into that category of not the smartest financial decision.
Well, I don't understand it from either side. Normally, I can understand at least one side or the other. I don't understand it from either side. Why did you beg for that contract only to do this the next year, the first year of the contract? And why did y'all give him that contract and then this happens?
Yeah, none of it makes any kind of sense. It's all stupid.
I need to see the documentary. I need to see the documentary about how we got here. Because it's
something. Please make it make sense.
Yes, something went sideways. Somebody's not happy. I don't know what's going on. All I know is that if they get anything less than a second round pick, or anything yet less than a second round pick for IU in the trade, none of this was worth it. None of this was worth it. Because you can't tell me that boy's not back ready to come back and play. He got hurt week 2 of last season. You can't tell me he's not ready to come back and play. There's got to be more.
He's more drama than he's worth.
At this point, yeah. Antonio Brown style. Just way, way, way more drama than what he's worth. But yeah, so at the end of the day, Brandon Ayuk probably is done with the 49ers. We're good. And I wish him the best. Or if he manages to get his ish together and come on back, let's get on the field and let's go do something. If you can't do that, then ta-ta for now. Ta-ta till the next time we see you again. All right, so that is going to close us out for the first block of the show. We'll take a quick 5-minute break and see some promos, and then we will be back to talk NBA. There's some interesting things going on in NBA. including the final that we're going to get for the NBA Cup that I don't think anybody saw coming. But we'll get to that after the break right here on The Classroom. I'm Double K. That's O'Malley.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on.
Madison.
We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the first GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone. I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's baby business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the first GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
To keep it lovely, you got to keep it, you got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I've been real with this. Please don't judge me, I'ma stay on my shit, I'ma keep it.
All right, and with that, we are back. Hope you guys enjoyed the little promo break, letting you know everything going on here on the Double KK Double Network and the First GenXers Broadcast Network, Twitch, YouTube, wherever you find us. All right, that little QR code, just so you know, just in case you ever said, why do they have that up? That is a QR code that will lead you to the double KK or 2KK2network.com, the website where you can find everything double KK. Sort of cheap pop, 85p, etc. All right, so now that that's over with, we are going to be talking about the NBA, where they dribble the little orange ball and run like soccer players all over the court. I want to say, well, they do. Like, that's basketball and soccer have very similarities in the sense of conditioning. You have to be well conditioned to play those. You can't just wow. But sorry, got the Warriors game going on. Actually getting close within 5 of the Blazers, who are actually a lot better of a team this year than a lot of people expected, including myself. I thought the Blazers were going to continue to be the Blazers. They're actually playing pretty well and are going to be adding Damian Lillard here in a little bit. So, wow. But we had a few stories this week that came up, but we'll start with the NBA Cup 2025. The finals are set with featuring the San Antonio Spurs, led by Victor Wembanyama, as they surprised us all. Oh, actually, I thought I said last week that I hope it happens that way. But they surprised us all by beating the Lakers in the semifinals and then beating the Thunder in the finals. Or not the finals, in the West finals. Whereas in the East, they will face Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks, who beat shorthanded Orlando to get to the finals. Even though this championship literally means nothing.
There's that.
It is kind of good to see a team like San Antonio, who's very young, get some time to show and become a better, more grizzled team in games that matter to them. They are playing for money. For the players, the games matter because they are playing for money. So, like I said, I will just forever be shocked about Kansas City or Oklahoma City losing to San Antonio. Is San Antonio that good? Like, could we be looking at the 2 deepest teams in the NBA right now?
I think that is a reasonable statement for sure.
Again, look at the mixture. I think the Warriors set the standard with it. There's a mixture of young and old. You know, you got guys like De'Aaron Fox running the point and running the 2. But they're backed up by people like Castle. They're backed up by people, and then you have people like Wembanyama. I think this is only his 2nd or 3rd season. So, like, the Spurs could be building their next 5, 10, 15-year dynasty where they make the playoffs every year and, you know, compete for a few NBA championships.
Which, I mean, I think is pretty impressive, just even given the fact that this is the first full season without Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
So that's crazy in itself.
Yeah.
So
that's one of those you're old win, because I never thought I'd see an NBA season without Pop. You know, on the sidelines for his work. I figured that man was like Bobby Knight. That man was gonna have a heart attack and die on the sideline. Yeah. It's one of those things where I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them, and even though the championship means nothing to the grand scheme of things, it'll mean something to them.
Yeah.
You know, and I can respect that. So I believe they play the final next week? Yeah, on Tuesday they play the final. So we'll be talking next week about if the Spurs have completed their run, because even though the Knicks are good, don't get me wrong, Jalen Brunson, Cat, like, they're a good team. I think that Spurs team is just too deep. It's just too deep. One of the other big stories that came out of this week is that, unfortunately for the Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or continue to mess up his name, is expected to be sidelined 2 to 4 weeks with a calf injury. This is kind of convenient since it came out a little while back that he supposedly might want to leave Milwaukee, but
I mean, that's been swirling since since the season ended. I mean, shit, it was swirling since last season, if we're being really honest, right? Like, I know people have tried to tie him to the Warriors a couple of times. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, come on over, sir. Hey.
Yeah. Here's what always bugs me about picking up another big time person. Who you gonna have to give up to get him? And is Draymond gonna have to be one of those people? Because if all you're giving up for Antetokounmpo is like Kuminga and a couple of bench players, bet, let's do that. You know, maybe a couple of draft picks. Let's do that. But if you're talking about giving up Draymond, like, I don't know. I'd be willing to part ways with Butler to get out Giannis, but other than Butler, like, there's nobody really in our starting lineup I'd be willing to part ways with. Because this team is a lot better than what it's been playing like. They're just getting used to playing with each other. And
yeah, I don't disagree there. I don't disagree at all. They're better than what their record states right now. They've had some very close calls, but this team, if they can just get their shit together and start being more cohesive, like, they're a dangerous team.
Yeah. They're one of those 5 seeds that could go to the finals. You know, 5 or 6 seed that could go to the finals. Like, they just have to get to playing at their max potential. And I think, I'll be honest, I think sometimes people who tinker with lineups can tinker with them a little bit too much. And they can throw some things off, like, is Kuminga injured? Why hasn't Kuminga been starting the last few games?
I think there's still more drama behind the scenes going on with that. And I think it's more about that than it is about injury, illness, something like that. There's something that's not meshing. And after all of the stuff that happened in the off season, it's not like, I mean, he hasn't played horrible, but he also hasn't come in and played in a manner that kind of makes up for the bullshit during the off season, right, to me, as far as I'm concerned. Like, he hasn't proven he was worth the shenanigans,
right,
at this point. He hasn't. And, like, this would be the operative time to do it, sir. Like, come in there, come with a chip on your shoulder, show why you deserve more. And I'm not saying that you don't, but, like, this isn't the way.
This ain't G League Ignite, bro. Like, this is NBA basketball. And I'm not saying that in the sense of attacking his talent. Jonathan Kuminga is extremely talented. I had visions of grandeur when we drafted him. But I think they really have to take a hard look at, is he a right fit for how Steve Kerr wants the game play on the court? And can they fit him in there somewhere?
And until he wraps his brain around the fact, no matter how much anyone agrees or disagrees with this, until he can wrap his brain around the fact that any version of any team he is sitting on at Golden State is going to revolve around Steph.
Right.
And I think that's where he is struggling.
Right.
But he's also, I mean, it's fine to feel that way. I get it. But then you make this big, huge stink about it and come back and aren't really backing up any of
any of the talk.
Yeah.
And that's just sad. Like, it's because he's, like I said, he's a talented kid. Kid.
No one's knocking that. Like, he absolutely is. And on any other team, well, not maybe any other team, but there's a lot of other teams that, yeah, he absolutely could go to and have the role that he wants to have.
Be the center point.
This, unfortunately, is not the team. And it's not going to be until Steph chooses it not to be.
Until Steph decides to retire or go away in some way, and Draymond retires,
or willingly take his a lesser role.
Yeah, which I think when Steph gets to the point where he feels he needs to take a lesser role,
why even bother? Like at that point,
Steph will retire. So they did resign in other Warriors news. They did resign Seth. I don't know when he's going to start playing with the team, but they did resign him recently. So. Maybe the two brothers can ignite something in the Warriors for this season, and they can go on around. Let's hope. But speaking of Steph, both him and Victor Wembanyama were both coming off of injuries. I just tried to kids.
You're having a hell of a time with the names tonight.
I'm the one that set the running sheet, so you think I would have anyway. But Steph had his. The Spurs have won both games since Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
Say it with me now.
There you go. It's like you're trying to say Antetokounmpo. Like
at least I own the fact that my mouth just doesn't form those words.
There are reasons why some of these guys have nicknames. Use
Wemby.
them.
Yes,
Wemby, and why they just call him Giannis.
Well, unlike Wemby's return, where the Spurs rattled off 2 victories to get to the NBA Cup Finals, the Warriors managed to kind of blow Steph's pretty good performance in his comeback game against the T-Wolves.
He sits alone now with the record for most 35-point games after he broke Jordan's record. Like, so, yeah. Poor Steph.
No, let's for a second talk about this before we move on to the other top stories and get to that interesting thing. Why don't people give Steph the credit? Like the reality of it is that Steph has carried this Warriors team from something that had 1 or 2 good seasons through the first about 30, 35 years of my life to a team that I can genuinely say, I believe almost every year that as long as he's stepping on the court healthy, we have an opportunity to be able to get to and win an NBA Finals. Will it happen every year? Of course not. That's just not the way statistics and odds work, but or life works. But there's a chance. As long as he's on the court, as long as he's playing, there's a chance. And I don't think that people give him his impact on the game the type of credit that it deserves. 100%. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I totally agree. I absolutely agree. And I think, I hate to say it, but I think some of it is one of the same reasons what it's always been is his size.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that are never going to take him that serious just because of that. They'll say he's the best at this or the best at that. But like, and I mean, freaking Charles Barkley is a huge offender in that area. Is okay. This is another one like we were talking about with the age thing, right? Steph is amazing, full stop. Not amazing
two guard
because of his size or despite his size or because like it's no, even if he wasn't a tiny human, like
what he's doing is amazing.
What he's doing is still amazing. So like stop it with the discounting the shit like that. But that is part of why he doesn't get some of that respect. And also because when he was first coming up, it still was very much in the shadow of Kobe and LeBron and all of that. So, but give the man the respect that.
Well, there is one former NBA player that did give him his respect, and that was Carmelo Anthony, who was, I forget what the name of the podcast was that he was on this week, but he was on this podcast where he literally said, he goes, I don't understand how you have a conversation about the GOATs and you don't have Steph in it. Like he's like, at minimum, Steph deserves to be in the conversation. You
Right.
know, and it's understandable if you have him at one. Now, a lot of people, of course, laugh this off, but I think it's a legit argument because just for this reason and this reason only, if you want to give one solid reason, Steph did what he did in what people still try to push as the LeBron era. Steph did everything that he did. 5 consecutive trips to the finals, four championships, multiple MVPs, the league's only unanimous MVP. Like, all of this happened.
The reason why LeBron has a losing record in the finals, things like that.
And so I'm just like, I don't understand how he's not in the conversation. I can understand if you don't want to put him at one. Okay.
I get that too, but one could argue with the way that they freaking are on their knees for LeBron, for fuck's sake, people. Like, Steph beat him.
Yep. Oh, because Steph had
more often than he didn't.
Yep.
So, in the finals, not just when it mattered most. So, that's got to, at the very least, be taken into consideration.
Right.
But it's crazy to me. So, when people say stupid shit like that honestly tells me all that I need to know. It really does. You're unreasonable and illogical, and there is no point in even furthering this discussion with you because you're stupid.
Yeah.
I said what I said. Fuck LeBron.
We got a little bit of time before that. We got a little bit of time. Oh man. All right. So I want to say, turn this off. There we go. So now that takes us into our final couple of topics as we close out the show. Other sports stories this week. We'll open it up with Fernando Mendoza, Indiana Hoosiers quarterback, wins the Heisman Trophy. Now, some of you may have said, but Double K, we can hear the bitterness in your voice, and we don't understand why this man's joyous event is causing you any type of pain. Fernando Mendoza was in line to be the starting quarterback for the California Golden Bears before he transferred.
Okay, so there's a little bitterness there is what's going on.
There's a lot of bitterness there. But congratulations to him. Congratulations.
It wasn't one of the freaking regular, we're always up in this, getting picked over and over again. So that's a nice change.
And it's well-deserved. Like, that Indiana team is playing out their minds, and he's a part of why they're doing that. So it's definitely well-deserved. I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't deserve it. It just hurts me. Now, I don't even necessarily say I fully think that he could have done this in Berkeley, but just the delusions of grandeur just anger me. That was.
Now he's somewhere looking at a national championship. So,
I'll say this.
I know you, but if we had him, maybe we would be in Indiana's spot right now.
I won't be angry. Hey, Cal won 7 games without him, and basically was a factor in the ACC championship game this year. So who knows what they could have done with him? But I will say this. I won't be upset if they don't make it to the national title game. I'm not wishing for it. But I definitely won't be upset if they don't. I like to see Cinder. That's where the conflict comes inside of me, is that I am all for seeing underdog teams do what people feel is the impossible, and that would be what Indiana's doing if they went on ahead and won the national title this year. But damn it, why did it have to be with him? Anyway,
well, you know.
But congrats on winning the Heisman. Like she said, it was nice to see not the typical people up there from the typical schools taking home the trophy. Congratulations to him. And I hope that means good things for him coming in the future. But this is the big story that we're going to close with. And that is now former Michigan head coach, Sherrone Moore, who took over from Jim Harbaugh when Harbaugh went to the NFL, has now been fired and is facing legal charges leading to significant turnover in college football. So that means the Michigan job is now available. All you have to do is beat the number one team in the nation, Ohio State, to keep it. But let's get to Sherrone Moore. Was fired for sleeping with one of his assistants and is now facing jail time because after being found out, got upset, went over to her house, made threats, and acted a fool. And on top of all of that, she's pregnant with this child. So, look, I'm not one to judge.
Bro, he just made Jim Harbaugh look good leaving the way he left there. Like, I mean, that's some fucking crazy insanity.
$13 million a year is what Michigan was paying that man.
Was he married?
Yes, and he was married.
What the hell?
In a matter, it reminds me of one of my favorite jokes. And yeah, this is a stereotypical joke, but it's funny.
Money can't buy sense.
Not just that, but Moore might want to go on ahead and run a country song backwards. What do you get when you run a country song backwards? You get your wife back, you get your car back, you get your dog back. Anyway, but this man, I'll say it the way Swab said it to me over the phone. There is
ain't no pussy worth it.
Thank you. Giving up 13 mil? Nah.
Nope.
Nah.
Nah. None. Absolutely none.
Like, as soon as the affair started, first thing is we got to get you a different job. Like, right now, you can no longer be working on this staff. So
and an NDA.
And like that's step one. As soon as we start the process. Step two is let me get a divorce in quiet. Let me get a divorce in quiet. And then step three is we can make the announcement that we are together. But wow.
And step four is let me absolutely not get you pregnant in any other step outside of that. Like
experimental things. I don't care what we got to do to make sure that this don't happen.
Wow.
But so now he loses the $13 million a year job, the wife and family, the side piece now don't want nothing to do with him, and he's gonna have another kid, and he's potentially looking at jail time.
Bruh.
If this is not a real life version of Dave Chappelle's When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
Wow. I can't, like, how fucking dumb are you? Like,
here's
that's
your
insanity. That is like, are you so miserable in some area of your life that like the only reasonable thing to do was basically take a grenade to it? Like, wow. Like, yeah, that's insanity to me.
I've always said this. when life is mean to somebody, the sky starts falling. I normally feel empathy when the sky starts falling, because normally it's not of their own doing. The sky starts falling because of circumstances that are beyond their control. This is not one of those circumstances. This was something fully within his control, and had a primo job. Michigan, primo. This wasn't Sac State.
Right.
You know
and
what I'm saying? Like,
it's not only did you fuck up a primo job, but you didn't fuck up at a tiny ass little school that nobody's ever gonna hear about it somewhere. Like, you fucked up at a primo job. Like, you are never getting a job anywhere again elsewhere.
Oh, he is
ever.
lava. He is lava. Me and Swab were discussing that the day everything broke. We're like, he's lava. And Swab's like, at least for the next year, bro. I'm thinking for the next 5. Because he might be doing 5 years in prison. So like, yeah, like he's
wow. Just some weird shit. Like, that's crazy.
Would not surprise me if somehow during the course of all this it comes out that he's just mentally unwell. Like, and there had been signs leading up to this. Because there's got to be a reason why you just blow up your life like this. Like, this is nuclear level.
I mean, or there comes a level of narcissism that comes with some of this shit where people also think that they're above this stuff. So they think that these things don't apply to them. They think that they're smarter than everybody else, that they're going to get away with it. And that all of that shit. Like,
she would never turn me in.
Right. And so, yeah, that's stupid. I mean, it's clearly there is questionable judgment all the way around. And like, it just, like, yeah, how did you think that was any kind of a good idea? And
from
like,
the get-go. Like,
yeah.
Like, and here's one of the jokes that I was making to Swab. I was like, there are at least 6 schools, junior colleges and other universities around the Michigan area that you could have dated students at, and not a damn thing would have happened. You probably would have never been found out. But you had to date one of your own staffers. Like, again, questionable decision making, bro.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that I stated to Swab that if I was making $13 million at a job like that, I would be staying at least a 10-mile mark away from anywhere where students are outside of the school. Like, anywhere outside of the school, I wouldn't be. Matter of fact, I'd be that boring dude. I just go to the school coach and go home to my wife. That's it. For $13 million a year, I don't need nothing else in my life. I'm good. Go on some trips with my kids.
Yep.
Life is good. But that's me. So, all right, that's going to close us out. Just the most interesting subject of the week there. By
freaking
far.
Crazy insanity. What's going on all over the place?
Up next should be an episode of Now versus the Infusion with Saint. He's going to continue playing some classic video games. And, other than that, you'll see me next on Tuesday for Football Tuesdays. And you will see us next week, hopefully with Swab, for the next edition of The Classroom right here on Twitch and YouTube. So that has been it. O'Malley, as always, it's been great. Close us out.
Fuck LeBron.
There you go. Fuck LeBron. Deuces.
Bye.